Hello, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. All right. So, if you can hear me, all right, guys, give me a thumbs up in the chat. In the chat. All right. So today I wanted to just kind of go over how you review a proposal and how I do it. I'm gonna make this video a short video. I'm not gonna make it very long. And give me a second. I'm gonna try to let my school community know that I am live. Hold on, let me see if I can make an announcement. Let's see. Let's see. Join me in my live. Let's see. All right, so I am, let's see. All right, wanted to make that announcement because I actually decided that I wanted to do this. And the reason that I wanted to do this, let me close this door. Right. The reason that I wanted to do this is because a lot of my students actually, they they have the pieces, they know what to do, they're just struggling to put the pieces together. So, what I do, of course, I have a team, and many of you I know may not have a team, and that's okay because you don't have to have a team. I have a team because, of course, I've been doing it a long time, over 30 years, and then also I coach and I have students that I help. So I help people to in my accelerated program. I help them to find bids, and I help them to write their proposal and submit their bids. In the inner circle, I help people to, of course, identify contracts to bid. And then also, I even partner with some of those, especially if they're going after something that maybe my past performance might help to make them stronger, or vice versa. So I've got some power players in the inner circle, but I believe that it's about collaboration versus competition. I'm a firm believer of that. Like a lot of people, they don't want to share their information. They have tools and networking connects that they don't want to share. And I don't really, I just think that that's not what we're trying to do now. We're all trying to grow together. And there's so much money that the government spends on contracting, over $7 billion every year. Hence, I wrote the $1 trillion client. I guess I probably should show you guys this book that I wrote. It's the $1 trillion client, and I actually wrote this book. Ooh, gosh. I don't know, maybe in 2020, it's 2025, maybe in 2023. I'm going to say I wrote it in 2023. And I wrote it after the pandemic and probably before people start really using AI. So I actually wrote the book. And I wrote it because I wanted to talk to people about my journey in government contracting, because oftentimes when I'm asked to speak at various events and stages, people want to know, well, what do you do? And when I tell them, they say, well, how did you do it? So I said, well, you know what? So let me just write a book to tell people like what I do and how I did it, where I came from, and the whole 9 yards. So in my book, I don't have that story, where I had to sleep in my car and anything like that. I actually, um, was an educator. I'm still an educator, but I came from academia. I was in the military. I'm a mom of four, and I have a grandson that I love, BJ. Everybody knows BJ. So, but I was able and blessed, right, to be able to find something that I really love doing, and that's government contracting. And after I won my first contract, um, I've never looked back. I believe that it's a way to stabilize your business. I believe that if you don't have a business, you should get a business. And I did a video on why I believe that you should get a business, and especially now, right? Because you want to be able to control your own destiny. So anyway, but I wanted to do this video, and I don't want to rant, but I wanted to do this video today because I wanted people to actually see kind of sort of behind the scenes, like how I and my team, we review proposals. So every day for me and my team, because like I said, we have a slew of people that we support, not just myself. So we have people in the accelerator program, and we have people in the GovCon Connect program, and we've got a couple of programs, and then we've got people in the inner circle that we support. And so when I say we support them, we actually help them with finding contracts. And someone said to me the other day, a student said, "Oh, I want to join your program, but can you guarantee that I'll win a contract?" And I was like, no, I can't guarantee that you can win a contract. Like, that's crazy. But what I am able to guarantee is that, working with me and my team, that we will provide you the strategy, we will provide you the templates, we will provide you all of the resources that you need to position yourself in order to win. And some people that work with us, they win straight away, right? Some people work with us and they don't win their first contract for, 2, 3, maybe even 6 months. But we've got programs where people hang out with us for 12 months. And so far, we've not had anyone that's hung out with us for 12 months that didn't win a contract, right? And so, anyway, so I want to kind of talk to you guys about what we do every day to support our team, and also what I do, which is the same thing that we do for our team. So we either will be looking for a federal contract, a state contract, or a local contract. I always say to my team, right, to my family, if you've won a contract before, maybe locally, I always say continue to monitor that revenue or that agency. For example, we've won contracts, and we're in Georgia. We've won contracts with Department of Transportation. So we often go back to the Department of Transportation because, of course, we have past performance there. Hey, how are you, Coach? Hey, Coach, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. Hi, hi. All right, so we have past performance there. So if we have past performance there, we want to make sure that what we continue to go there, right? Because we have past performance. So that could be state. So I'm going to say state. And then also, one of my favorite places to go is the Department of VA. I'm a veteran. I served in Kuwait. I'm an a former Army Ordnance officer, right? Airborne, right? And so I love the VA. I love the VA because the VA is one of the top buyers of goods and services in the US. So I love the VA. So you will see my team going to hello. You will see my team looking first at the agencies where we've already won projects. Another company or agency that we love is the CDC. We will we will always look at the CDC, the Center of Disease and Control, to see if there's projects there that we can go after. One of the things that we've done is we've pivoted a little bit. If you guys know, I've actually been in the energy management space for like forever, like for maybe 30 years. I'm going to say 30 years. And so we pivoted a little bit, not out of the energy management space, but we're doing a lot of project management now. We're doing project management, program management. We're doing project healthcare management. And I actually own a home care agency, and I'm in South Carolina and I'm in Georgia. So hence, that's one of the reasons that we kind of pivoted, because we started to see lots of opportunity in the project management space. So what we do, getting back to what we do and how we review proposals and how it's going to work. And I hope that one of my students, hope David joins, because I will be looking at something for David. And he's in my school community. So I saw it and I just said, hey, let me see if I can show this to David. But so we had a meeting, the inner circle had a meeting like the other day, and I actually saw this and I hit David up and I said, hey, David, look at this. So when we wake up every day, we look at proposals every day. We're searching every day. We have a schedule that we actually go after these proposals every day, right? And so I won't really go through how you find a proposal, but today we're just going to be talking about state and local. We're really not going to talk about federal today, but it works the same way with federal contracting, right? You can look for solicitations. And what my team has created is we've created like a format and or I guess an SOP or blueprint that we use for ourselves and for our students, which allows us to have a higher success rate and a winning rate, right? But this we worked on for years and we've tweaked it. And anyway, so I'll see if I can share my screen. So I'll start with my company first, so let me see if I can share my screen. 1 second. Ooh. All right, let me see if I can pull it up first. And then I'll share my screen. All right. I normally have my team on with me, helping me to do this. So if I am not doing it correctly, and I don't even see if I can share my screen. I don't even know if I can do that. I don't know. Let's see if I said share. Okay, that's not it. I tell you, darn it. All right. So I may not be able to share my screen, which is a bummer. But since I can't, I'll have to do this maybe again tomorrow when my team is here to help me. They'll be like, Doc, why did you go live without telling us? But anyway, so I'll talk you through it anyway. So I'm going to pull up the Word document. So I don't know how to share this screen with you. I'm going to pull up the Word document and I'm going to talk to you about this particular solicitation. Okay. All right. So the solicitation is called Multiple Chronic Disease Research Center, right? And it has the solicitation number. It also has the agency number. So what we do is we pull the solicitation, right, that we think might fit into what we do. And we have our website, which, it tells what we do. We have our past performance and we have our capability statement. And then we pull the solicitation, right? And we put it into our, I don't know, it's just my little secret thing that I have, right? So we put it into my little program that I've created. And we find out a lot about the solicitation. So we find out, the title of the solicitation. We find out what the focus is, and then I break the solicitation down. All right, so I understand that the solicitation is research focused. I understand that it is health equity. I understand about collaboration, data collection, and dissemination. So the solicitation, that's what it's like, 5 bullets that solicitation encompasses, right? And so my proprietary software that I have, it will break down the executive summary, organizational capacity, the research plan, the data management plan, the dissemination strategy, and the budget justification. It breaks it down and it tells me if this is a good fit for my company, right? So then I also have my team to create a calendar plan of action and milestones for me. All right, so this particular solicitation, um, it says that I need to have my team to review it on Monday, which is May 19th. And then I need to develop a research plan by the 22nd of May. Then I need to draft my proposal sections by the 6th of June. And then I need to do an internal review and revisions by June 21st, right? And that's my quality assurance team. I need to go back. I don't know if I said this. So I need to draft a proposal, my proposal section by June 6th. And I have a writing team that helps me do that. And then I told you on June 21st, I need to have my quality assurance team to look at the internal review and revisions, right? So on July 1st, we need to finalize the budget and the attachments. And then on July 6th, when it's due, we need to submit the proposal, right? And that's the proposal team. All right, so what we continue to do, and I really hate that I can't show this to you. I'm sure there's a way, I just don't know the way. But what we do is then we determine if this is a new bid or if it's a rebid. So I look at that. And so what I see for this particular solicitation, this one is a rebid. So they're renewing this solicitation, right? So what that means is that there's money, there's still money, a continuation of previous funding opportunities. So there's still money out there for this particular solicitation. And then it will tell me that my strategy should be to review the past awardees to understand successful approaches and tailor my proposal accordingly. And it tells me where to go to look for the folks that won this particular solicitation in the past. In this particular case, it's a grant. So I would go to grants.gov, tells me where to go. Right. And then it goes on. So then I've got a positioning checklist that I go through for each one of my proposals. I have uploaded my information, and the folks that work with us, we have their website, we have their capability statement again, and we have their past performance. And so we upload all of that information along with the solicitation, and we say, hey, so how can I position myself? All right. And so it will rate that for my students and for myself. Let's just say for my students, right? So it will say, okay, you've got, so what the proposal is looking for, right? The scope, right? The things that matter, right? As it relates to the evaluation of this particular solicitation. It says that one of the criteria is that I need to have experience in chronic disease research. All right, then it looked at my company and it says, you have moderate experience here. And then it tells me my action plan. It tells me that you need to highlight related projects and seek expert partnerships. So I hope you guys have watched my videos. I did a series 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that was how to win contracts, right? How to win your first contract. So all of this, it's relevant because it all comes together. So with this particular solicitation, it says you've got some, average experience to go after this, right? And then, so the second criteria that is important for this particular solicitation and the evaluation process, it talks about community engagement, right? It says you're strong there. You're really strong there. And it says you can emphasize your past successful community initiatives, right? Because we've worked with the CDC, we've worked with the DOT, we've worked with all kinds of agencies. We've worked with the Children's Social Services, Health and Human Services. We've worked with a lot. So I'm very strong there. Then it looked at the data analysis capabilities. It says I'm really strong there. I've got detailed methodologies and tools that I've used in the past, so really strong there. And then it talks about the last criteria for this particular to win this particular solicitation: dissemination of findings. It says you're moderate there, average, but what you need to do in order to be strong, you need to develop a comprehensive dissemination strategy. All right, so keep going. This is how we do it. Then we say, what resources do I need and what will be the profit margin? So it tells me, all right, so you're pretty good, but what you might want to look for is a researcher, data analysis, community outreach coordinator. Those are the pieces and personnel that we need in order to be really, really strong to go after this. That's not a problem. So, and then we say, are there any types of equipment that we need in order to pursue this contract? We need data analysis software, and we need to secure data storage solutions. Okay, not a problem, not a problem. We can get that. We can do that. Or we can find, right? Our data analysis will probably have this software because that's what they do. No problem. So when we're looking to find partners to work with us, we want to make sure that we're asking them, what type of software do you have? What type of data analysis software do you have? And then, do you have a secure data storage solution? All these questions, right? Easy peasy. All right, then we want to look at the money. All right, how large is this project? And it says this estimated budget for this project is 1.5 million over 3 years, right? So you guys can do the math. I'm going to just say, we know, let's just say it's $500,000 every year, probably a little bit more than that, right? A little bit more than that. Anyway, you guys can do the math. All right, and then so it says that my estimated profit margin in order to win this, right, at that price range, my profit margin would be about 10 to 15%. So if we're saying $1 million and we just said 10%, the profit would be $100,000. I think I'm doing the math right. But I have a little calculator that does all this. I don't have to think into it. All right, so key dates and contacts. It tells me that the proposal due date is July 6th. We saw that. Question submission deadline is July 15th. We've got plenty of time to do that. It gave me the submission email and the point of contact. Who do I need to email it to and who do I need to talk to? It told me the agency is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. All right. So continue what we do for our clients, right? The folks that are in the GovCon, I always mess that one up. The GovCon win level, and also the accelerator, and also the inner circle. All right, what we do is we say, what is your win probability, all right, for this particular contract? Because we, in the $1 trillion client, I teach, you need to have a bid or no bid strategy, right? You don't want to waste your time working and researching and pulling together information to bid on a solicitation that you have no chance of winning. So we do the evaluation for our folks, right? Because if someone is in a 3-month program, a 6-month program, or even a 12-month program, they want to know that what they're doing in those 3 months, 6 months, year, their success rate is high. So with this particular solicitation from my company, it says Teeter's certification and past performance in public health project. That I'm strong there, right? So I'm good there. It says your challenges, though, my challenges. It says you've got limited direct experience in chronic disease research. That's true. Not done a lot there. I've done 1 or 2 projects, very small projects. And then it says my overall assessment is that you have moderate to high probability of success with strategic partnership, right? So you could do it, right? You could do it if you want. All right, then it goes down, right? We talk to our team and we let them know, right? You can win this, but let me tell you how you can position yourself better. You probably want to get some subcontractors. You go after this as a prime, as long as you have the capacity to do that. You go after it as the prime and you get some subcontractors. And it says, who do I recommend would be your subcontractors? All right. It talks about academic institutions. So you want to partner with universities that specialize in chronic disease research. And it says also you want to partner with community organizations, like collaborate with local nonprofit for community engagement. And then also to help me where I'm not as strong with the data analysis. I want to partner with a data analysis firm, right? Engage firms with expertise in health data analytics. All right. So, all right. So that's that. And then again, it breaks it down again in a table form. And let's see, talks about the evaluation, where I need to kill it as it relates to the evaluation. It talks about um, who I need to partner with and all of that. Then after that, let me go to back here. I don't know if you guys were able to see me while I was away, but hopefully you were still seeing me, even though I was not on camera. Hopefully, but if not, you can hear me, and if not, my team will fix this and we'll edit it later. But with that being said, um, it's easy to look at proposals. It's really easy to look at proposals. I'm going to see without going off camera. So I'm going to see if I can go to this one. I want to go to my other student who is in cyber security. All right, I'm going to see if I can review this one. Let me see. Okay, this one is in cybersecurity. So what I did for my student is I took his website, I took his capability statement, and I put it in our system and program, as if he was a member of our accelerated program, Inner Circle, and also the GovCon Lab, Winning Lab. All right, so this my student, he's in Mississippi. I actually had a Mississippi one up and I pulled this one up. It's California. So this one right here, it's an RFQ. So it's a request for quote versus a request for proposal. And so here, the agency is the California Department of Motor Vehicles. It gives you it's a renewal. So this is a renewal. So this is a rebid. it says that the submission date is May the 27th. And if my student who's in cybersecurity, I've got a couple of them, actually, not the sergeant major. Sergeant major is working on a huge contract right now. But anyway, it's from June the 3rd to August the 31st. It's a 15-month renewal. And so they are looking for 15-month dark trace license renewal, right? And so I guess he would understand exactly what that means, and it gives him specs, what they're exactly looking for, and it gives them everything that they're looking for. And it breaks it down. It gives him the technical solution, past performance, administrative forms, and price proposals. So all of these things are needed in order for him to be able to go after this particular solicitation. All right, so the action plan. Everything that we do, we have an action plan. We want to know how to win this, right? We're only looking for ways to win. So how do we win this? We understand that we want to review the RFQ by May the 19th, and we have a compliance team. So that would be the compliance officer. If you don't, that would be you. And then we want to draft the quote and attachment by May the 22nd. And my proposal team would do that. And then we have internal Q&A review. Want to make sure that if there's any questions that we have, we want to address those by May the 24th. And my proposal director does that. And then by May the 27th at 2 p.m., we want to make sure that we have a hard copy submission. So I know that many of my students, they may think, oh, I can just send an email. Sometimes you can't send an email. Sometimes they're wanting a hard copy submission. So when you're working on your proposals, be it an RFQ, an RFP, you want to make sure that you understand this going in. Because when you understand the deadline and how the submission should be received, then you can come up with a strategy or a plan or a schedule to ensure if you have to mail it, that you overnight it, you get a certified receipt, you make somebody sign for it, you do all the things that you need to do in order to make sure that you don't work on this proposal and then it get lost in the sauce. So on this particular RFQ, it says, these are the gaps that my student would have to fix. It says that he's really strong with cybersecurity license management. He's really strong there. But it shows from his past performance, from his website, that he has limited evidence with the dark trace specific experience. So he would need to address this. How would he fix this? He would have to address this with partner or resale certification. All right. So our system, it says this is where you're weak at, this is how you fix it. Right. And so public sector experience says that's one of the criteria, right? It says that he is adequate here. All right. It says present structure approach aligns with state expectations. So he's okay there. All right. So then it goes down to the resources and financials, right? What's needed. All right. So any equipment needed, any people needed. So here for my student who's in cybersecurity, he would need security engineers, procurement officer, legal / compliant analyst. And this particular contract, its estimated price range is between $350,000 to $500,000, depending on the vendor that he chooses and any discounting opportunities that they may have. Okay, and his profit margin it's going to be between 10 to 15%, right? And any training and support, you want to make sure that you include costs for e-learning and public sessions. All right, so what do we need to do in order to win it? We've got a due date on May the 27th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, right? And a hard copy needs to be sealed in an envelope, and it needs to go to Keith Bowman, and he is in California. Gives his email. So you're not emailing this, you are sending it to him in a hard sealed copy. All right. And we tell our team when they're in our program, what is your probability of winning this? And it says, according to what you do, what you say you do, what your company has done, what your website looks like, and the experience and things that's on your website, you have a 60 to 70% um, chance of winning this. All right. How can you beef up your success rate? The way you can do it is you can team up with dark trace authorized vendor or a reseller to provide licensing and technical assurance. That's how you win it, right? And so that was two opportunities that we've looked at today to show you how you actually win a proposal. You look at it, you create an analysis, all right, and you look at it, and all of these things are important for you to look at in order to what? To win the proposal, right? So again, I am truly committed to you guys winning, not just bidding, right? I have a lot of folks that haven't even start bidding, right? So I want you guys to start bidding. I want you guys, and if you I created this month, I'm going to talk about it just a little bit. I created the Start Messy Challenge for the month of May because I have so many students. At this juncture, I have 150 students. 150 students, right? And of those 150 students, this is not exact, so I'm guessing, I probably have 150, probably have 40 that hadn't bidded on anything yet. And then I have probably about 38 that I know of for sure that have bidded and won, right? As of 2025, because every day I get a new student, and so I've had about 38 that's actually winning, and then but I have a chunk of students that hadn't bidded, right? They're still trying to get ready. So I started this Start Messy Challenge, and you can actually buy a shirt on Etsy or Shopify. I created this Start Messy Challenge. I don't have my shirt on today, but I'm trying to encourage my folks, my peeps, to start messy. You don't have to be perfect, because what happens when if you're a part of our team and we're actually doing it for you, right? Or doing it with you. I'm going to say that because, we can do so much for you. We can't do it all for you, right? But we can do it with you and do it alongside you, right? But what if you're not in our program? You got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere. In the two programs, the two solicitations that we looked at today, those solicitations, the cheapest one, which was the cybersecurity, right? And it was an RFQ, right? It's $350,000 with a 10%, let's just say 10% profit margin. That's $35,000. It's an RFQ, right? A quote. You giving them a quote. Very simple, right? And then you can make $35,000 as profit. So, and if you are on the higher profit margin, which is the 15%, you can make more than that. You can make, let's just say you can make, I don't know, $50,000 profit off of one contract. So when people say that they're not ready, you almost there's no reason not to get ready. There's no reason not to create and submit your bids, right? So I don't know, this was kind of long, but I want you guys to, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. I want you guys to join my school community, SKOOL. And if you're interested in government contracting, you want to join the $1 trillion client school community. And if you're interested in just becoming a better person and living your best life, doing what you love, and just being able to create wealth, because we talk about a lot of wealth building strategies in Live Your Best Life Collective, because certainly, money isn't everything, but money does help you to have this better life, right? So we've got the Live Your Best Life Collective. So join those communities. You can join both of them. That's cool. But if you found that this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on content like this. I promise I am going to try to get back to doing my lives, doing my training, but with over 150 students, it's sometimes difficult because I want to make sure that I give everybody time and attention, and then also that I'm able to live my best life doing what I love and hang out with my grandson BJ. All right, so with that being said, I think that's a wrap. If you guys have questions, as always, please, guys, I need you to put the questions in the comments below, right? When you put the questions, if you put your questions in the comments, I look at the question and I'm able to do research and get back with you with either the answer to your question or a video that can help you and others to be able to solve the question that you guys may have. All right, truly committed to your success, guys. I tell you for sure that if one person can do it, you can do it. Government contracting is a system. Success is a system. All right. You just have to understand the strategy and have a strategy or blueprint in order for you to win. Again, this is your girl, Dr. Melissa J. Williams. Live your best life doing what you love. You only have one. I love government contracting. I want you guys to stay healthy, happy, and God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video and or lesson. All righty. Bye for now.